Hey, welcome back to the channel. After I've tortured you a lot with best of photography videos in 2020, I finally came up with some new content, with some new ideas. We're gonna focus today on snow and ice photography. And the good thing is, everything you see in this video can be done indoors, that we're completely independent from the weather. We're gonna start very simple and then increase the quality, the creativity of the image, and not just normal image. We're also gonna experiment a little bit with time-lapse. Actually, I had planned to add a snowflake and a frozen soap bubble tutorial to this video, but in Germany the weather was too warm and I had no chance to create frozen soap bubbles. So I'm really hoping to add this kind of content in the next couple of weeks. But I have used my freezer to create some snow and ice, which works pretty good for this video. And yeah, there was snow in Germany, but the snowflakes were kind of molten, kind of round, so no crystal, no good images at all. But with the freezer you can get some pretty interesting ice and snow to create some nice images. Pretty boring. I think we have to add a lot more to the footage to get a good result. Adding sound makes it look natural, but for an interesting image we have to get much closer. That was pretty okay, but I think the time has come to get a little bit more creative, and that's why I want to add a rotation to the footage. I'm using an egg timer. This is pretty special because it does one rotation per 2 hours. If you have just a normal egg timer which does one rotation per hour, it will work great, but only on small subjects. Otherwise the rotation will be too fast and the melting process too slow and the footage will look odd. And now I have a great tip for you, especially when you plan doing advanced time-lapse stuff. And when I say advanced, I mean time-lapse for a couple of days. Then the egg timer is not really usable because it will spin very, very fast. And the solution here is using a star tracker. This does one rotation per day and works amazing on time-lapse footage. And the greatest thing about using the star tracker is that person who watch your time-lapse video will not understand how the rotation is even possible, because yeah, no one knows what a star tracker actually is. Before we're going to replace the ice cube, here's a quick tip. When you experience shaky footage of the ice, I'd recommend to put the ice cube on the black t-shirt, for example. This will add friction between the t-shirt and the ice and stabilize the footage. Now let's move on with this frozen pack of berries. This got two great advantages. The first is you have several different objects to photograph, and the second is they have a really nice ice crust on the berries. The great thing about time-lapse photography is that we get a video with a very, very high resolution. In my case, I used the Sony a6000 and got a video with a resolution of 24 megapixels. This allows us to crop in a lot. So we don't need any expensive specialized macro lens, and we also don't need any expensive super bright light because we can use very long exposure times. 1 second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, no problem. So we can use long exposure time, ISO 100, and then crop a lot afterward. For all the images in this video, I have not used my 150 watt LED, which is lighting me right now. I have used a pretty cheap softbox, which I bought on eBay for about 20 euro, with one light bulb. For the next time lapse, I've used some peppers. I sprayed them with water and put them back into the freezer, took them out, sprayed again, put them back into the freezer until a small ice layer appeared, and that's the result. The last shot was red cabbage. Now let's do a little quiz. Can you guess what else was in my freezer? What is even more interesting is when we put some objects into an ice block and then film how the ice reveals what's inside. Even though there's almost no snow in Germany at all, especially not in the north, there were a couple of days where we had a little bit of snow. So I took the snow, brought it inside, and here's what happened. I hope that I could give you a little bit of inspiration. You can do some nice photography inside, just grab some ice cubes or bring some snow inside and see what you can get. When you think that taking over 100,000 images is worth a like and a sub, you know where to click. Thanks for watching, have a good day, and hopefully see you in the next video.